here we are in the final glide with the several times world champion Sebastian Kawa. So let's check out what he is doing at this final glide. We still have about 30 kilometers left to finish the task. Sebastian is flying in the Diana 2 in the 15 meter class, whereas I'm flying the LS3 in the club class. Because of water restrictions at the airfield, no one was allowed to use water ballast in their wings. So both of our gliders have about the same wing loading.
Wie viel steigen hast du oben noch, Stefan?
1,7 ungefähr.
I'm about 50 meters higher than the Diana 2, so let's try to follow him to the finish cylinder. On the lower right hand corner you can see the three-dimensional view of our flight tracks. The software is called CU from Navigator. So we have about 28 kilometers left. Our task is to finish this race in the fastest way. We are about 120 meters below the glide path if we fly with a McReady setting of 1.9. Usually I like to have a little bit higher McReady setting, like 1.8, 1.9 or 2 meters per second, and there I have my margin for the final glide. So if I fly slower and if I even have some energy lines, then I will arrive there and have some tolerance at the end. Let's have a closer look at the weather conditions. On the ground you can see a huge shadow, so at the right side there are some higher level clouds, and ahead of us on the track there are some smaller cumulus clouds in the shadow. I expect to have there a weak thermal, but not something where I can get 100 meters or more for the final glide. And then far away on our flight track there you can see nice cumulus clouds already in the sun, and over there I really expect to get some more energy to finish the task in a fast way. But now let's focus on the master, on Sebastian, who is the best competition pilot or the best ranked competition pilot at the moment. I think we all can learn a lot of his final glide flying here, and I can also see what I would do different and what I need to improve. I've flown several competitions. I also won 2 German championships, and I'm not a bad pilot, but I'm definitely not at a level like several times world champion like Sebastian. So let's see how he is pulling up, how straight he is flying, and which speed he is flying. So especially the margin at the end when he will increase his speed and so on, that's really interesting. They can get some more kilometers per hour in average speed if you do a great final glide. So for all of us this is really good to enhance, to get better and to improve our flying.
Also ich hatte in dem letzten Bad noch nicht Flughöhe, so minus 100 Meter ungefähr. Bisschen östlich vom Kurs gibt es aber nochmal schöne Wolken, da fliegen wir gerade drauf zu. Vor mir ist Kawa.
Ja, ich habe das jetzt gerade in 1550 verlassen. Hätte 100 Meter mit McReady 0, aber die Wolken finde ich auch schön.
The difference in height is getting less and less, as you can see on the flight track from the side view. I'm only some meters above his flight path, so I really need to try hard to get some more energy to keep up with him so that I can make this final glide. Here, as you can see on the flight path, I'm trying to fly a little bit more to the left hand side, a little bit more to the right hand side to get a feeling where's the perfect energy line, if it's more to the one side or to the other side. Sebastian is flying really straight. Now he's making huge turn. That's really great if you can feel the lift like him and you exactly know where it's the best way to fly. But I'm not a genius like him, so I need to feel it. I see the variometer and also feel the lift, if it's more to the right hand side, more to the left hand side, and I try it. But all those smaller inputs to the glider will make some drag, and you also fly more distance. Yeah, I also was flying a lot slower than him. He just flew through this thermal with a higher speed. But you need to know that the glide ratio of the LS3 is not as good as the Diana 2, so there's quite a difference. That's why I think I need to get some more energy to have some more margin in the altitude.
Jo.
I did not fly the same way as Sebastian flew. Not sure which one was better, but it looks like Sebastian had a great line there as well.
85. All the gliders, runway 3, grass, maybe 4 to 5 knots downwind at landing.
Ich gehe auch auf die andere Frequenz.
In general, we are flying between 120 to 150 kilometers per hour, so it's not really completely fast. It's it's somehow a nice speed. I think it's about the McReady setting of 1.5.
Echo Tango. Echo Tango.
On the flight path you can see that I'm already below the flight path of Sebastian, so I really need to take care to slow down, to get more energy, so that I will also make it to the finish cylinder in the correct height, so that I don't get any penalty points. Directly ahead of us there's the biggest opportunity. We have a nice cumulus cloud above us, which most likely will generate a thermal, and there's already one glider thermaling there who is about 100 or 200 meters higher, so we really need to focus there to slow down at the correct spot and to get those 100 meters which we will need to make a safe final glide onto the finish cylinder.
Golf Sierra 10K.
Das ja. Roma Papa 10 kilometers. Roma Papa Lima inside sector. What was the last at 10K?
Perhaps you are wondering which application I'm using on my smartphone. This app is called XCSoar and it's an open source software, so you can use it for free. It is really a great help to make an efficient final glide, and especially in competitions it is mandatory to have a moving map solution. Whatever software or navigation device you use, the most important point is that you have experience how to use it, how to do a final glide, and which safety settings you use. If you use a safety altitude, if you use a safety McReady, and so on. That's really important. If you do a final glide and you have a safety margin of 200 meters in the system, but you don't know that you have those 200 meters, then it really does not help, and perhaps you make an outlanding because you thought you won't arrive there, but you have 200 meters left. I have about 6 kilometers to finish this task. Sebastian is about 2 kilometers ahead of me, and he is already very confident to make this final glide. He is accelerating, he is flying with 170 kilometers per hour, and I only have 15 meters arrival altitude, so 15 meters above the Finnish cylinder. That's literally nothing.
Only some Papa Lima left downwind to runway 35.
Papa Lima, long landing, wicket west or at the end of the runway.
Will do.
What we can learn here from Sebastian is that he does not slow down too much at this stage of final glide. He only slows down to about 120 kilometers per hour and not to about 80, what I do from time to time here. I don't have as much safety margin as he has, so I really need to get this additional altitude. There, Sebastian is trying to keep the average speed as high as possible, but he still uses this energy from the sky and does not fly block speed. Also, the deviation is getting less and less at the end. He is flying relatively straight into the Finnish cylinder.
Line. 85 of the line.
At the last few meters of the final glide, it's really important that you have a closer look at the altitude so that you are not below the minimum Finnish altitude. Usually I try to be about 10 to 20 meters higher than the minimum height, but this only works if you have your logger connected to your navigation device. Here in this particular case, I have the nano logger connected via Bluetooth to the smartphone, so I really see the altitude which is written into the IGC file on my smartphone, and that's very important for a competition navigation setup.
Small start here on November 10K.
Bravo November.
Fox Papa 10K.
Fox Papa. 77K.
76.
Long landing, wicket west for your trailer.
Crew of 85 ready to enter the runway at X-ray Charlie.
I get you.
Make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and smash the bell next to the subscription button.
Great to be back here.
See you next time. Bye bye.